Hey guys, how's it going? Scotty from scotsbasslessons.com, and today I want to focus on some cool blues style licks. Okay, there's a few that I have in my vocabulary that I probably use a little bit too much, but you know, so I'm going to show you it. So every time you hear me play it, you can call me out. I'm only joking. Don't tell anybody about it. If you learn it from this lesson, shh. I'm only joking. So let's get on with the lesson. We're going to learn the full groove, so you can get these licks in your vocabulary. And why, I get asked a lot of the time, why is it important to learn licks and lines and other people's bass lines? And essentially, it's so you can absorb what people are doing and get it into your own playing, and also understand it from a harmonic viewpoint as well, because you need to be understanding what you're playing so you can take it to different situations and use that stuff. Otherwise, you'll learn something cool and you'll only be able to play it in that one scenario. And that's crap. We need to be able to use it in loads of different scenarios, because that's the best way of expanding your capabilities of a bass player. And it means that when you learn something, it's not just a static thing. You can take it with you and apply it to loads of different stuff. So you're automatically expanding your vocabulary really easily, and adding to your own voice as a bass player. So let's check out the groove. Okay, here it is, up to tempo. Okay, here it is a little bit slower. Now don't worry, I'm going to slow it right down, but I want to highlight a few things in it first before we really begin to get stuck in here. So here it is a little bit slower, okay, so you can hear exactly what's going on. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the little key parts that are really I use a lot is it's a phrase that is used by like every blues player you've ever heard in your life. Okay. So for instance, if you're in, and it's weird because it's actually not part of the E minor pentatonic scale. Okay, so if you think, oh yeah, it's a blues sound, it's an E minor, generally people are going to play that. Okay, that E minor sound, that E minor pentatonic or E minor blues sound, but it's actually got that note in it, and that's the key note that makes this really, stick out for me, is that sixth. It's over the E minor, it's a D flat or a C sharp, okay? And it's these two notes together particularly that work. That D flat, the D flat and the G. Okay? How many times have you heard that? That sound, all the time. Okay, so that's why I built it into this riff, to highlight it for you so you can learn it and steal it and use it for yourself. Okay, so there it is, right at the top of the riff. So let's look at the first phrase of this riff that we're talking about today. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. It's one phrase, and I really recommend that you learn just that one phrase to start with. Okay, again, we're playing over this kind of dominant 7, E minor blues, pentatonic, that kind of sound. Okay, even though the dominant 7 is obviously root, major 3rd, 5th, flat 7, you can use the blues scale over that has the minor in, okay? So that's why I'm saying it's kind of like an E minor, E dominant 7 kind of vamp, okay? So, again, so here's that first phrase, 2, 3, 4. Again. Remember, if you're an Academy member over at Scott's Bass Lessons, you get all the tab and the notation. And if you're watching this on scottsbasslessons.com, all the tab will be directly under this video for you. So click it up and it'll just pop up. If you're not an Academy member, make sure you go over to Scott's Bass Lessons, check it out. You can try it out completely free for 14 days. I'll put a link below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Okay, so here is that lick again. So it's the D flat to the G, and then I hammer on with that second finger. And then with a little finger, come around here, hit the E, B, D. One, two, three, four, five, six. It's only 6 notes. Again. But obviously the riff starts off with that big low E. Okay, so again. And it finishes off that phrase with an E. So it starts with an E and it finishes with an E. 2, 3, 4. So you just get used to playing that round and round. 2, 3, 4. So just play round and round with that. You know, if you're more advanced, feel free to mess around with the riff as I was doing there and just kind of break out into other stuff. So that's the first part of the groove. And the next bit is again open E. Again, this is like super classic blues sound based on the minor pentatonic blues scale. So it's just E, and then with the first finger. Now the really important key part of this for me is the fingering. It's the 3rd finger to the 1st finger on the G, and then you slide up with that 1st finger to that A flat, to that major 3rd, and then play 4 notes in a row to the little finger. Oh. Make sure you make that slide with the 1st finger. Otherwise, you could do it with the little finger, but you know, either do it with the 1st or the little. Don't do it with the 2nd or the 3rd. You'll get yourself in a real pickle. Okay, so 3rd finger, 1st, slide up to the B. That little 4 notes, and then that minor 3rd again, the G, and then E, D, B. And what I do is exactly the same thing as I did with the other part. I play that in isolation. Okay, now add that with the last part we did. And again. Oh, so there's 3 sections, okay, of that part. There's section A, section B, back to section A, section D is just a kind of cool Pino Palladino-esque double stop. Jaco Pastorius did them. Again, it's over that E minor. So you play the E, open E, and then bar the E and the A. You play their fourths, obviously, E and A. Hammer on with the 3rd finger. Yeah, so you pluck it, hammer with the 3rd finger, making sure that A is still ringing out. Okay, it's not that, it's, you want both notes ringing out at the same time. So hammer on the 3rd, then put the little finger on, play that. So, and then that last section is just it's like a slur. Again, it's hammered on with the 3rd finger. And, you know, I'd loop this round. I said right at the beginning of this lesson that, you know, even if you're a beginner, you know, and not ready for a lick like this, you'll be able to learn something just by watching how we're going through this and piecing it together bit by bit, because this is how you learn complicated lines like this, right? So, I'm putting some dead notes in there in between. That's like a stylistic thing. You can do that. You don't have to do that. It's just that, you know, what I'm you know, I just like, it's maybe because I'm playing here on my own without a drummer. If I was playing it with a drummer, I probably wouldn't put as many ghost notes in. It's kind of just to flesh out the rhythm a little bit. Okay, so let's go through the riff pretty slow, and I'll call out the sections as we go through them. Okay, so remember, it's A, B, A, D. A, B, A, C. Okay, so here is, I need to work on my alphabet. I knew I missed that class at school. So here we go. So 2, 3, 4. A. Section B. Back to A. C. A. A again. C. Okay, let's take it down even further. 2, 3, 4. Even further, 2, 3, 4. Back to speed, 2, 3, 4. Okay, with anything, with any of these little devices that we're using, this one, you know, all of these little things, don't just isolate it to this riff that we've been doing today. You need to take this and transpose it into different keys, not this riff, but the little devices, and use them in different contexts. So for instance, let's, like super fast, okay, so see that one there? Now let's use it in a riff in the key of G, and the riff could be, okay, that was that sound, you know, taking that sound. What's the next one? Let's take that little riff, that lick that we learned in this riff. Let's do it in the key of B flat minor, okay? There we go, a bit rusty. What's the next one there? Okay, so let's do that in the key of D, for instance. Actually, let's make it more ambitious. You know, look, D, and let's do it over. Again, I'm just taking all these little devices and using them within different grooves, because that's how I'm expanding my vocabulary, and that's how you can expand your vocabulary as well. Make sure you're learning these little devices and taking them into all the different areas of your playing and trying to use them and understand them from a harmonic point of view as well, because otherwise, again, it's just you're gonna get stuck in that I've learned a cool lick thing and I can't use it in anything other than this one situation, okay? So really try and expand what you're doing by understanding it harmonically and then moving it throughout everything that you play. If you haven't been to scotsbasslessons.com yet, make sure you do so straight after this lesson. And hey, make sure you click like as well, because I'll send you some extra bass love. Like I'm sending you some bass love anyway. This is like extra bass love for anybody that clicks like. There's nothing like emotional black metal, is there? Anyway, take it easy and I'll see you next time in the shed. The 2015 Kickstarter challenge.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
Hi everybody.
Hello all. Hello.